Good morning. So we'll start session 3 on chapter force and pressure. In our previous class, we understood what is force. We defined force as anything, a push or a pull is called as a force. We understood the different effects of force. Then we understood about two types of forces, that is contact forces and non-contact forces. The forces which are in contact with each other will come under contact forces such as muscular force, and the forces which are not in contact with each other are called as non-contact forces like magnetic force, electrostatic force, gravitational force, etc. So we'll move on to the next part now, that is pressure. So what is pressure? Force acting on a body upon a unit area is called as a pressure. This is the definition of a pressure. What does it mean? Force acting on a body upon a unit area. That means when force is acting on a body on a particular area. Now that means, so assume that I am walking, right? I am walking in a particular space. That means force is acting on a body on a particular area. Now the best example if I have to give you here is, you are walking on a sand, right? Camel also walks on a sand. Now it is easy for camel to walk than we walking on a sand, right? Why? Because our foot is quite narrow than the camel's foot. Wider is the area, it is easy for the camel to walk, correct? Best example. Force acting upon a body, upon a unit area, on a particular area what force acts, that is called as a pressure, right? So pressure exerted by an object depends upon the surface area. That is what I told you, it depends on the area. So pressure exerted, whether pressure exerted is more or less, it always depends upon the surface area. To understand that, few applications what I have written here, we first understand this and again we'll move back to this. Now I have written it here as a needle. So you all have seen a needle has one pointed end and one blunt end, right? So which end of the needle we use it for stitching or sewing? We always use the pointed end. Even if you take the pointed end and just prick it, you feel or blood slightly oozes out, right? But if you take the blunt end of the needle and prick it, will the blood ooze out? No, right? That means a pointed end of the needle is used. Similarly here, if I talk about a knife, it has a blunt and a sharp end. Nail will also have a pointed end and a blunt end. Now this I'll come to it later. Now when I talk about these three examples, why am I not using the blunt end of the needle or the blunt part of the knife or the blunt part of the nail for either hammering or any of these purposes? The only thing, because as the area is reduced, pressure is increasing. That means I want to cut something. If I have to cut something, that means I have to use the sharper edge of it, right? That means if I want to apply, pressure exerted over that is more. Why? Because area is very less. It is very sharp. Same as the needle here. Needle is pointed. That means needle is pointed. Area used by the needle is very less. Similarly, if I talk about a nail, so if this is a nail here, so nail has, right? So what has happened here? This is the pointed end of the needle. So if you have to hammer the nail to the wall, when you hammer it to the blunt side, the area taken by that sharp or pointed end is very less. That means pressure is more. Wherever the area is less, pressure is more. If I am using this side of the part for hammering, it will not get into the wall. That means pressure applied is less because area is more. So here I can tell area and pressure are inversely proportional to each other. More the area, lesser the pressure. Lesser the area, more the pressure, right? We'll again come back to for this applications later. So I have written few things here. pressure exerted by an object depends upon the surface area, right? So lesser the area, more is the pressure. More the area, lesser is the pressure. So let us define or let us write pressure in terms of pressure is equal to force exerted upon a unit area. We have a SI unit of force which is called as a Pascal. Now another simple way to remember the formula and to write this force and pressure, I will write pressure as F here. I will divide this in terms of, I write force as F here, pressure and area. Okay. So how do we write this formula? Suppose if I have to find pressure. So pressure is equal to force upon area. Correct? Suppose if I have to find area. If I hide this, what do I get? Force upon pressure. Suppose if I have to find force. Force is equal to pressure into area, right? This is an easy phenomena to understand or to remember the formulas here in this triangular form, right? Now, we'll move on to these applications again. So again, I would like to tell the same thing. We use the sharp or the pointed end of the needle for stitching because as the area reduces, as the surface area reduces, the pressure exerted increases. We use the sharp end of the knife blade to cut or chop the vegetables because as the surface area reduces, pressure exerted increases. Similarly for the nail. Now if I talk about this bag strap, we all wear school bags, right? So have you seen the strap of a school bag? It is quite broader, right? Why do they make the broader stripe here? So suppose you think the school bag stripe is very thin and you have to carry loads of books into them, right? What happens when you carry the bag? Your shoulder starts hurting, correct? But when we use a broader strap, your shoulder will not hurt. So what is happening in this case? All these three cases we wanted surface or we wanted less surface area. In all these three cases, needle, knife and nail, because we wanted more pressure, right? Wherein in the school bag strap, we want wider area. That means we want more area, so we feel less pressure. Correct? You don't feel pressurized, or your shoulders are not pressurized much because the space is taken by the broader strap of your school bag here. Similarly, there are many such examples which you have come across. If you see vegetable vendors or the coolies outside, they take a cloth, roll it into a circular form, keep it on their head, and then they keep the vegetable basket on their head, if you have noticed. Similar as the coolies, right? Why? Because what do they do here is they spread the pressure equally on a particular area. That is the only reason. Similar way, another example in the beginning of the part when I had told you, camel, and if we are walking on the sand, it is difficult for us to walk on the sand. Rather for a camel it is very easy because we have a narrow foot. Pressure applied, we have a very small area, wherein they have a larger area. So there are several such applications what we can talk about when we talk about area with respect to pressure. Suppose you have an ice floe and you are supposed to walk with a pointed heel. What will happen? It breaks. Why it breaks here? The area is very less. That means lesser the area, what happens? Pressure is more. Suppose if you are wearing a flat heel or a flat slippers, that means area is more, lesser is the pressure. Now simple terms if I have to talk about, when we wear high heel, right? Do our foot or do we feel uncomfortable? That's only because lesser area, more pressure. When you wear flats, flat shoes, flat chappals, etc., that means more area, less pressure. So this is about how force, pressure and area are interrelated with each other. So we understood the definition of a pressure. We understood how pressure exerted by an object depends upon the surface area. And we understood how do we write pressure in terms of force and area, SI unit of pressure, some applications of pressure with respect to how it affects between area, and we understood how in the other way also it affects. Now when we are talking about a pressure, we also know that pressure exerts on fluids also. Now what do you mean by fluids? Fluids, in other terms, it's not only water or it's not only liquid. Fluids means liquids and gases. That means we term it as a fluid because anything which has a tendency to flow is called as a fluids. So pressure exerted on fluids, or how pressure exerts on fluids in liquids as well as gases, we'll be studying that in our next session. So in today's class, if you have any doubt, you can call on the same day of the video sent. Thank you.